So, welcome back to Big Sky Ballistics. Today we're going to do just a quick overview of 22's. Because easy.
So, I'll be honest with you. If we were talking about this earlier, um, if we had to pick two of our favorites, for me, I cannot argue in the slightest about the Winchester Model 9422. They're expensive now, but goddamn, I've got so many memories of shooting this thing. It is a tack driver, an absolute tack driver for what it is of a 22. I would pick this. Honestly, this would be probably my number one for a favorite 22. And it just, I've never had an issue with it.
Very respectable choice.
It flat out it's never left me high and dry. It's never disappointed. You know, heck, I've shot the thing out to 300 yards where you're shooting, 20 feet above the target, it seems like, reining them in. It's just a blast.
Yep.
I absolutely love the gun. They're slick. They're enjoyable. And then, as far as a second favorite goes, I'm spoiled, but I would say a Colt Woodsman. Just fun little semi-auto 22 handgun. You know, back in the day, they had versions of these pistols. They were Olympic pistols. Guys that were shooting in the Olympics would use it was a little more decked out than this one is, and it had different grips and it had the different rear sight. But it was the same basic pistol, and my goodness, they're just fun. Absolutely enjoy them. Love them to death. You know, they're comfortable, they point well, and they got that old school cool. So those would be my two favorite picks on the table.
Very solid picks.
Very solid, honestly. Can't go wrong with the classic 22s.
Right?
All right, so for my first favorite, I'm going with 1022 just because you could literally do whatever you want. Now, the standard 1022 is going to be like this. I like milsurp, so of course I leaned more towards, hey, I'm going to clone an M1 carbine. Because I don't know if you looked at M1 carbine ammo prices anymore, but that's not great. And like I said, the exact same fundamentals and everything. It's just, it looks cool.
Right.
I mean, and sometimes in a gun, that's all that matters.
Yep.
I think it looks cool.
Yep. No, I think everybody needs a gun just because it looks. You need at least one. At least one, just to
So
enjoy.
firearm collecting is a hobby, and part of a hobby is what do you enjoy?
Mm-hmm.
I think this is fun.
Yep.
And as long as you're being safe with them, go ham.
Right.
And then for my second choice, I know I kind of glazed this thing earlier, but like I said, I grew up watching all the James Bond movies and just being an older design. The good old Walther PPK in 22. I mean, I don't know if it's the stainless finish or just old nostalgia, but this thing is just awesome.
Yep.
I mean, I can't think of a single thing to complain about when it comes to this thing. Yeah, it's a little more pricey, so it might not be your first handgun, but like I was saying earlier, if you set a goal and you budget yourself, I mean, you can get whatever you want.
Yep. Yep.
And it's still cheap to shoot.
Heck, that's probably the most important thing, right? Being able to get out and shoot it and enjoy
Yep.
it.
What are you going to take out and shoot more instead of what's going to look better in the safe?
Yep.
It doesn't matter if you spent 10 grand on a Barrett 50 cal, but you can't afford the ammo.
Yep.
Versus spending, a tenth of the price on a 22, getting 10,000 rounds for that's going to be like 400, 500 bucks if you get, because you can buy bulk ammo.
Yep.
Which one are you going to actually go to the shooting range and shoot? 50 cal, maybe twice a year versus, hey, every Saturday, take the kids out, take the wife out, or hey, take your boyfriend out. Maybe you're getting someone new into guns. 22 is the easiest and cheapest way to get someone interested.
And 22 isn't the slouch of a cartridge everyone talks about. I know 3 people who 22 is their primary hunting caliber. Yep. Squirrels, rabbits, groundhogs. As long as you know what you're doing and you master the weapon system, it's the operator that limits the weapon system, not the weapon system limiting the operator.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go a little different than them. I like the new school stuff. So I really feel like this is one of the best options nowadays to get into 22. Because you're going to find an AR every gun shop you go to, pawn shop, Shields, Cabela's, North 40, Big R, if you still got one of those around. An AR will never treat you wrong. And for an extra $200 to $300, depending on the time of the year, if they're having sales or not, to drop in a bolt that you could learn on the 22 and switch to 5.56 when you need, is indistinguishable. There's some guns, I will admit, out there that you can, change some stuff around, and you have to change barrels and magazines and all that. But it's a simple bolt with a simple mag, nice and easy. Teach your kids on a small caliber, work them up, or hey, you haven't shot in 5 years and you want to get the fundamentals back down?
100%.
22 first, switch to your 5.56. Straight transition. Nice, simple, to the point. But on the other hand, I got to go with one of the Ruger Mark series. One of the most reliable, cheapest, and I guess most proven 22 handguns out there.
Oh, yeah.
So why not go with something that's been tested? You're not the first one. You're not the R&D department. It's something that's been vetted by tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people.
Oh, yeah.
That you can grow with. You can put up, if you've only ever shot irons, and then you want to throw a red dot on there to learn how to shoot with red dots. It's a 22. It's going to be forgiving. And you can learn new items like a red dot, a laser, a flashlight. Learning all those things on a 22 is much easier than your full caliber. So for, 200 to 300 to up to $1,000, no matter how much and how Gucci you want the pistol, it'll treat you well. And it's a good learning tool, no matter which way you look at it.
Yeah, totally. I completely agree.
1000%.
So the reason we did 22s for this first video is they're not the flashiest thing in the world. They're not going to grab your eye and say, hey, get this. But we showed the cheap, we showed the expensive, we showed the in between.
And everyone's got a 22.
And even if you don't have a 22,
someone should get one.
If you go to the range, someone will have a 22. They're the easiest guns to learn on, and frankly, for what they are, they're some of the cheapest. New ARs can run anywhere from $500 up to $1,000. Whereas most of these 22s were sitting at the, $150 to $450 price range until you get some of the nicer ones. But it's much easier to save, $75 to $100 a month or a paycheck. So it's either 2 months or 4 months to get the 22 than it is to splurge on a rifle. Especially when you're learning, you don't need the Gucci stuff.
No.
A 10-22 will serve you just fine when you're learning.
100%. 100%.
Well, heck, now they got those. I can't remember the company that makes them, but Ruger actually licenses it, so you can do those up like the A-Team rifle. You can make them like a movie gun. They're fun guns. They shoot good. You can do all kinds of stuff with them.
They make the M1 carbine chassis for the Ruger 1022. They make M1 Grand chassis for these things. There's a guy making VHS chassis for these things.
There's Mosins.
You can drop this thing get a folding stock on it, get a bipod, throw a scope on it, throw a suppressor on it. I mean, you can spend as little or as much as you want.
Absolutely.
So, in my personal opinion, I think they'll agree with me. If we're recommending 2 guns for them to look at for their first gun, or they're getting into collecting, or they just want somewhere to start. I will personally, and you guys might agree, you might disagree, and that's okay. The Ruger or the Ruger. So either the 1022 or the Mark series in the Ruger. Good, reliable firearms. Oh, how many years old are they? Almost 100 now?
The Mark series came out after, what? It came out in the 60s?
Yeah. 60
and the
years.
1022, I'll be honest, I don't know off the top of my head, but I know they've been out for at least
I'm going to
50
assume
years.
around the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're proven rifles and pistols.
They wouldn't be making
absolutely, Yeah,
they wouldn't be making them for 50 plus years if they were just pieces of junk.
Exactly.
So, if you need work done on it too, most gunsmiths know how to fix a 22. They're simple and easy, but the Ruger or the Mark are just the baseline, good looking to start with. Cheap, affordable, customizable, so you can let it grow with you, or if you want to keep it bone stock and then maybe switch to one of the others for a new 22. They're a good starting point, and so save 50, 75 a month over how many months you need, or if you have to do less, that's okay. Everyone is in a different financial spot, but financially the 1022, in my personal opinion, is a great place to start.
100%.
You're not dropping a lot of money, and you're not dropping a lot of money on ammo, but you're still learning, and you're getting your foot in the door.
Yes. 100%.
Absolutely.
This has been Big Sky Ballistics. My name's Cherney.
And I'm Remy.
And I'm Bobby.
Thanks for coming in. Wait for part 2 of us shooting all these. Unfortunately, it is too cold and snowy out. We're up to our knees in snowdrift, so we're unable to shoot them today, but look for that video coming soon. Thank you for your time. Like and subscribe. Don't do anything we would.